into the game while they're still setting up here. Let's take a little bit closer of a look at these team profile videos that we got for you guys. Stay Green EU and VDT. There you go again. The rosters for both of those teams, the badass music, and getting us hyped even a little bit more for this matchup ahead of us. So we're just waiting on one more player now, and then we'll be good to get things kicked off here. Another thing to know, looking at those players and everything, we're talking a lot about Pee-wee here. Apparently we did get confirmation.
Gotcha.
It is actually Pee-wee. We were told by the man himself. At least that's how he wants us to pronounce it. So going to have to start getting used to that. But no, Pee-wee. Haxerin has also had a phenomenal tournament. Again, we're talking about some stats that were gathered by, this is actually posted on Reddit. I believe
they're the top two, right, in terms of carries?
They're the top two players, on this list in several categories. Kills per game, kill-to-death ratio, goal per minute per game, experience per minute per game. These two players are at the top of the list when it comes down to it. So very impressive stats, including, I still can't get over, this is within 5 games that they had on the day one, the goal per minute chart is just insane. 666 goal per minute average for Pee-wee in those 5 games, and 596 GPM average for Haxerin. And I believe it was actually 4 games that they had, but still, impressive, man. This is against top-tier competition here at a big LAN event, and they're getting numbers like that.
Yeah, look at Haxerin right there, too, man. He's
chilling,
focused for the game. He's
he's
got his battle face on right now. He's like screaming.
He's yelling right now.
Why is he yelling?
Battle cry. No, that probably wasn't going on, but he made the point yesterday that it's not the hero that's overpowered, it's the player. And clearly both Pee-wee and Haxerin are overpowered right now when it comes down to it here at the LAN event. So 2 big-name players there. Obviously, it's all about the supporting cast as well with the 2 teams. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the teams are ready, though. Are we ready? I think we're ready.
I'm ready.
Are you ready is the question. I hope you are. Let's jump in here. We got a game going on. VDT taking on Stay Green EU. Big matchup. As you see on the records, 5-0 against a 4-1. This will help determine a lot of things on the line. You see right here the blind bands, and look at that. Look at that. Stay Green EU respecting VDT hardcore right
Straight through the Monkey King and the Empath. You know what? Well, Cinnamon said if you don't ban Monkey King and Empath against VDT, you're making a mistake. After leaving the Empath around, but probably didn't expect them to lock it and pick it over. There was a lot of strong heroes in that lock pool. They favored the Empath anyway. This time, Stay Green EU banning both of them out in the blind banning phase. So truly tailoring their bans to VDT here. And, well, VDT going against Stay Green EU, doing the same bans as they did against Stay Green. Keeper of the Forest Tempest. they like to run that aggressive style, and
Yeah.
figuring they can edge an Ophelia out a lot easier than they can maybe some of those heroes. So
We are going to have to see the player named support play a different hero than Empath.
Nope.
Rare times have come.
Nope.
Rare
I
times
don't
have
believe
I know.
it.
Is that actually happening? I mean,
doesn't have
obviously
to play
he's
the
a
hero.
great
He can pick
player.
the hero, but he might sit in the well and just protest.
What the hell is going on right now?
Wait, what?
Why?
Wait, who and
why is that on stream? Why? I don't know what's going on. Anyways, the locks happening right here. Those masks, man. There's a lot of people that wear those masks at Dreamhack. I've noticed too. And the Dreamhacks that I've been to, the V for Vendetta, the anonymous, I guess, masks you can call it.
Looking at Fitzy, shout out really quick right there. I have to shout out to Fitzy and the Bang Bang crew as well. So, yeah, shout out to you guys.
Pizza, bagel spinning.
I don't know what pizza bagel spinning
I don't
is,
think
but
I
I recognize the rest.
It might be pizza bagel. Okay, pizza / bagel spinning. Oh, that makes a little more sense. All right, the locking phase finishing up right there. Geoman to the final. I think we saw VDT do that
This looks
yesterday,
like a very
too.
similar pull to the previous game, Lodestone. However, being locked up by Minuts here, so they figure, hey, even if they're grabbing something like this Rally Magnus, we're still going to get a Lodestone out of it. And Zai, he has proven to be just an absolute monster if you give him that hero. So, yeah, curious to see whether or not VDT will actually dip into it. Rally Magnus has been their hero slotting of choice, but we'll have to see.
Again, Zai, a.k.a. Navi Parrot. I think that's how it's exactly pronounced. If you don't say it that way, you're not saying it right.
All right.
Navi Parrot.
Okay.
Not even gonna try.
Not Navi Parrot.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, am I working on it?
I just made that up on the spot. I don't even know if that's it's probably not.
Yeah, I was thinking that sounds like a terrible way to say it.
That's it is Zai though, so just to clarify. Band's moved along here though. Master Scout, Deadwood coming out. So
yep, besides that, taking a look at the rest of the okay, yeah, so Scout, Deadwood. Scout being banned out from VDT, still that Lodestone's an option for them. Guessing like they're still going to be well, you know what? In normal circumstances, I would say most teams would favor the Ophelia pick, and Ophelia in general considered the more powerful jungler compared to Parasite. Minuts is known to play a pretty mean Parasite himself, though, and against an aggressive style like VDT, maybe something they can look into.
Yeah. Engineer Fade, the final ban coming out here. VDT, VN Sensation. Of course, the captain for the team, the one with the fun hair there in the middle. He is thinking about the final ban that wants to happen.
So that's Zibe, Zergo, and then VN Sensation in that order, right?
Yeah, and I believe it's hard to see at the very end there exactly.
Yeah, you're going to see support and Pee-wee down there.
The very end.
Pee-wee being the other Viet gentleman. And
there's Soul Reaper. Soul Reaper, the final ban. Interesting. You know, Soul Reaper haven't really seen anything of this whole tournament. But
take a look at Stay Green actually in their previous games for a little bit more read on that. Got to see a.
Yeah, don't see anything about Soul Reaper. Not wanting to deal with it for whatever reason. Oh, Pebbles is the final. Is the first pick, however. Right off the bat, not much thought put into that one by my nuts. So Tundra is still on the board, though. That's definitely something that stands out. The Tundra, the
really
War
seen
Beast.
Teams dip into Tundra yet, though.
Yeah, that's true. Stay Green is still banning it for the most part, but yeah.
VDT did run him a decent amount with Vibeli, though, playing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Zibe is
same level, yeah.
It's a hero of choice in his regard, but yeah, no, he definitely was using the hero. Bubbles being highlighted already by Pee-wee. Certainly not for the carry slotting for him, but maybe a suggestion to his team. But yeah, Torture or Luna gonna follow this up, taking a Luna away, which is it's nice to take it away from the Pebbles because, well, like talk about that Luna Pebble synergy and that front load burst that it's capable of, especially with the Master of Arms being taken out of the pool and, well, potential Ophelia pick coming out from them. Don't want to give them too much of that synergy.
Glacius Hack. Haxford had Madman right-clicked for a while. You know, we saw that yesterday where he was right-clicking the Predator for a while and then eventually got it. Wretched Hack, though, is going to be that carry option of choice here this game, however. It looks like for Stay Green EU, so.
Oh, yeah, and Pee-wee actually highlighting the Tundra.
Yeah. So possibly, still could see it.
Oh, Moon Queen, sorry, is Zergo there as well.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't even notice that Moon Queen slipped through there in the end.
And artillery, yeah.
Yeah, and artillery, of course.
Sound carry options themselves, and definitely could
Not
use
exactly
a carry
sure
here.
if that's Pee-wee's style. Gonna go for the artillery instead. Yeah.
All right, so again, Pee-wee's showing his diversity. He can play pretty radical carries, again, from Gemini to the Monkey King to an extent. I mean, artillery, though.
Etc. But
more standard. Lodestone the first pick. Interesting. They value that Lodestone, though. I mean, Zai, you're talking about, he plays it.
yeah, they threw it in there figuring they, well, probably would get their jungler of choice anyway. They've seen that VDT has strayed away from picking a jungler, so not needing to pick it up there first. And, well, literally got their choice of any hero in that lock pool. Went with the Lodestone, so showing just how highly Stay Green values that hero and how you should place it when facing off against them. And for good reason. I mean, I forget what they were mentioning. I mean, I think even Tralf brought it up there yesterday when he was being interviewed, but the amount of burst Lodestone is capable of putting out, it's
ridiculous.
I forget the exact math, but at level 6 or level 7, I mean, you have to have it. I forget the exact number, but somewhere around 7, maybe it's 687 or 700, maybe 750. And once you're level 7, 750 HP to survive the burst, if ever higher.
You got Shatter Storm, you got the head smash on top of that, the rocket drill damage that comes out. I mean, it is an intense amount of just upfront damage, and he can get to you to do it fairly effective. And the head smash, it's a very quick cast, obviously. So, yeah, it's just a matter of lining up the Shatter Storm is what it comes down to, but not the most difficult either, especially in skilled hands. So, and Zai definitely a skilled player. So
yeah, you're getting 600 damage from. Yeah, wow, that's just it's huge.
Yeah.
Plus the ultimate.
Nice.
Hockey issues, so they're gonna go through a little bit here, but looking at the lanes, was expecting some pretty standard setups. Zai actually moving really quick to the bottom here, actually using his rocket drill to get there as fast as possible to place that defensive ward down against VDT and get the read on sort of what they're doing. Maybe able to put up some counter wards in response if they get that ward down early enough. So yeah. In standard fashion, VDT is training this bottom lane. We've seen that come out time and time again from them in their past few matches. So not going to be too much of a shocker there, but I like how Stay Green EU. Should I just call them Stay Green or Stay Green EU for this?
It's so, yeah. It's
I'm going to call them
SGEU.
SGEU.
SGEU at the end. Yeah,
how SGEU is sort of adapting and using this Lodestone to get that out as quick as possible, knowing that he can actually reach that spot before VDT even has a chance to get there.
Yeah.
Also, given the fact that they like to play aggressive, getting that ward down in that bottom river spot early can prevent a lot of the potential mid ganks from happening too.
Yeah. Was that I see Nova right there, maybe giving some insight to VDT, trying to help out perhaps. I'm not sure. I didn't actually catch that.
Some words of encouragement.
Yeah, some words of encouragement and helping them out. So, all right. It looks like though things are going to be good to go here. Getting the key bindings fixed. Again, with the lens setting and constantly switching the computers, having to make sure that everything is set up correctly before it's too late. So
it's going to get that ward down right now. So they do have a rev ward, however, on Torture, and I've seen VDT counter that in some of the past games as well. So they may figure he didn't place it though, just because of how fast Zai got there and the fact that they're swarming. They might figure that he doesn't have anything down.
Yeah, and we see the rev put down already, so that is going to block this camp right here for Parasite to use effectively if he even chooses to go in his own jungle. Which, with the way they're setting up, it's looking like that might not even be the case, honestly. So
no, not even a maybe. He's definitely playing.
Yeah.
Which with the Parasite isn't even something that uncommon. So
nope.
Maybe they're just doing to make sure. You know, they're just making sure that now they know he's going to have to go to their jungle.
Yeah.
Where they can actually take that information and apply a lot of pressure now. And you actually see they're rushing top, so they didn't actually get any read on it. So yeah, they're actually going to have a little bit of a different approach this game in light of that, and send their tri-lane to this safe lane. It looks like, at least initially. I'm not sure if Torture is going to rotate back to the mid. They do have that defensive ward here placed, though. Torture is, well, blocking this hard. They're really making sure he's very, very limited in his access. Torture blocking that hard camp at the start. Looks like a Luna wants to try to make something happen here. Glacius is ready and waiting.
He's like, what's over here? Uh-oh, a Luna diving big time. Support and getting a little bit of lost right there. Oh no, Bloodlust kill. It seems like it's maybe inevitable at this point. A Luna, Wretched Egg comes in, the final auto attack, and Bloodlust kill. coming out for Haxer. And I mean, he even had plenty of time there. He noticed him for a good second at least before he even reacted to it.
Well, he didn't is the thing. I'm actually pretty sure he wasn't paying attention. I'm pretty sure he clicked to the camp and then looked elsewhere.
Well, no, that's my point. That the fact that he actually had vision of them, but he just didn't notice. I guess
and he kept walking through, so that was entirely his own fault.
Yeah.
Well, it sets up an excellent play by Stay Green EU, man. That's huge. It's huge. Really getting inside their head at the start here. You saw that mental battle going back and forth. Parasite, though, starting things off right away here and getting some early pressure onto the rally.
Jeez.
So let's look at Torture here. He does have a health potion for the rally if he so chooses. Still have the Aluna and Tort sitting here in the mid lane, but yeah, off to a fantastic early start here, and well, looking for
big for Haxer.
Green EU to keep that pressure up, man.
It's big for Haxer, and he's already playing the suicide, the long lane here against this artillery. Could definitely be a solid matchup here for artillery, but Wretched Hag with that bloodless kill, obviously giving him a great gold advantage right off the bat, gets the early boots.
Well, yeah, artillery's. I remember there was a game where I think it was, yeah, Heimer, aka Cheese Helmet, was playing against Zai, and I think he had like 66 CS on artillery when Zai was at 5 on Hag at one point. So just going to show you how heavy the artillery, I mean, if it's played perfectly, can dominate that matchup, even against an experienced suicide player like Zai. But yeah, that bloodlust kill, and you know, I said this all the time about Sacred and EU, but I think they are one of the smartest teams on the scene. I think we've seen in the past just and how Minuts has adapted to the different stages of the metagame throughout the years, and well as past history with the old Lions squad as well, man. Definitely a capable and crafty captain in his own right.
Yeah, speaking of Minuts right there with playing the Parasite, that was a little bit of luck, but again, that's just part of the game with the RNG, the spawning of the runes. A regen rune happened to spawn for him at that 2-minute mark that he was able to pick up, and he was out of mana, about half life, and that.
Oh, he's actually going to get the body block here.
Yeah,
has the boots. Wretched Hag has the boots. The double boots combination.
The chain reactions are going to hit. Will it be enough for the getaway? Probably. No, he gets pushed
the
over.
Kill! It doesn't even save him.
Oh, the compel at the last second.
Oh no!
Not enough in the end. Very, very close. And look at what's still happening. The chase is still on. Catman Champion Parasite coming in. The haunt is applied to Aluna right there. She gets done. The compel actually comes out. The leech going to be used as well. Will it be enough? No, not once again. Aluna falls. Big plays coming out for SGEU right here. Already off to a 3-0 hero kill start.
Yeah, so VDT already just completely being exposed here by Minuts, man. Getting inside their head. Has another Wild Hunter looking to make something happen. Early boots pick up by Haxer, and man is proving its worth. He is making that roaming happen, and he's like, you know what? Screw it. Well, that was actually another interesting thing to note is that, well, this game that they chose not to run that Lodestone Suicide, given that they were going against it, wanted a Suicide to get a little bit more active in running the Lodestone here against this Magnus in the bot. So, yeah, Stay Green EU mixing things up, man. As things get heated here, as the group stage begins to sort of round out, man.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting right here, too. You saw Minuts actually in the Wild Hunter. He actually pulled a creep wave to the middle lane, and then he used the Invis to have it aggro onto Limp here on playing the Pebbles. So Pebbles going to try to get a little bit of extra CS out of it, so even him helping him farm up a little more in that middle lane. Those pretty nifty strategies going on. But speaking of Parasite again, takes over the Skeleton King. He's headed towards the middle lane. Rowley's not in a favorable spot right here. Obviously does have that compel, but here comes the Skeleton King. Net not going to be applied just yet, waiting for a compel perhaps. But Rowley's not going to fall for that bait, so Zergo just walks away. And in the end, he is going to be fine. So middle lane definitely in the advantage right now of SGEU, but how are the other lanes going? While that's happening, I mean, you do look at the top lane. Artillery, 22-20 against a 5-3 Hag. So even with that bloodlust kill, you were talking about that. I mean, this is not a favorable matchup for Wretched Hag at all, and it's showing here.
No, I mean, especially if Artillery winds up picking up Ghost Marchers or Steam Boots either way, but especially Ghost Marchers, your damage just outmatches the Wretched Hag so much. And the animation, it's really tough for him to do anything. Parasite, however, grabbing another, this is a Vulture Lord, it's not going to use that to set up a gank, just going to pick up some levels now since he's been moving around a lot. And I like to compare Parasite to the other supports who are both sitting at level 2 because he's sort of accomplishing a similar role in that he's ganking in the map and keeping active.
Back to the bottom lane. I mean, Magnus versus Lodestone. Ooh, middle lane actually. Compel going to be used on the Glacius. Chain reaction sets both actually. The power throw on top, putting in the auto attacks. Raleigh going to try to do some hero blocking here. He gets chucked in the air towards the tower. Limp Not going to be able to do enough, though. Fitzgay does fall playing that Glacius, and it comes together for VDT. However, Rally in some trouble, or is he? Parasite, Capel goes out, and Parasite will fall. Big turnaround for VDT right there. Parasite thought he had a sure thing, especially if Pebbles could get there in time, but he didn't.
Do you even math?
Yeah,
that seemed risky immediately after the kill. He knew they had 3 heroes there, and well, playing an incredibly intelligent early game, just completely outmind gaming VDT. Now beginning to slip a little bit here. Excellent roaming coming out from that Aluna. That's part of the strength of the hero in general, is that able to assist in ganks even from far away with that power throw. So helping set up the kill initially onto Glacius, and then, I don't know, honestly, Minus just gave him that kill more than anything. And I mentioned that he was ahead of the curve, ahead of that Aluna and Torture. Sure, he still is, but being that he's ahead of the curve and then sort of died like that, picked up Striders here, making a point that he really wants to keep active. Yeah, so just tossing the game back in their favor. I mean, they worked hard to earn this early game victory, but thrown it all away for nothing.
Yeah. So just like that, again, you look at the golden experience, it's if anything in favor of VDT. Very, very slight, obviously, but definitely in their favor. And you got an artillery who's leading the way. Pee-wee here playing the artillery, 310 gold per minute. He's taking some pressure. He needs to be careful. Catman champion coming in. Now level 6 line and turn around on Wretched Hack though. The other arm. Yes, it is going to be enough. He gets the turnaround kill. He may fall in the process, but at least he got the kill first, honestly. That was a pretty well played by
the kill. It was onto Wretched Hack though, but yeah, at least he picked off instead of getting killed by both of them. Meanwhile, Fitzky in the middle lane. Zergo being caught out of position there and being punished heavily for it. Ice Imprisonment actually not being maxed out by Fitzky over the Thunder Blast. Despite going into Rally, still favoring the extra damage in AoE. Well, not extra AoE, but the extra damage in an AoE, I should say, from the Thunder Blast. Gives you a little bit of extra slow as well. Bigger cast range. Just a little bit easier to use effectively. But yeah, level 2 Ice Imprisonment enough to bring the Rally down.
Look at Zai up here. If artillery port's in, he is. There's another port coming in, though. Zai is loading up and loading up with Invis Rally. Invis Rally. This could be big here for VDT.
Does he know? He knows.
Oh, yeah, they do.
He's trapping him.
Seismic Slam open. Boom goes the Dynamite. Where's the Capel? There's the Capel. Another stun. There's a chain reaction. They didn't stagger the best. It doesn't matter. Zai will fall. They knew the whole time. And Rally just
Did he get spotted by what actually happened?
I have no clue how
I missed the setup. I was actually looking elsewhere on the map. What actually happened?
He was sitting there in the jungle, and it was 2 ports coming in, I thought. I think one got canceled even by artillery, perhaps, and maybe he just ended up going mid or something. But Rally came in with the Invis, actually, when he ported in.
Well, I know that much. That was crafty. That was
and then
really crafty play. But
over, so.
I wanted to see the setup. I mean, I'm going to go back and look at that later, actually, myself, the setup with Zai. And how they immediately knew where to detect him there. So
awesome plays coming out for VDT right there. And Zai, it made sense what he was trying to do. Definitely get another kill set up onto artillery, and could have been an easy one with that Shatterstorm especially. But VDT had the information somehow. And they do pull it off right there. Stalagmites in the meantime in the middle lane are going to miss. I just got the tail end of that. Shatterstorm was activated too. And Zai not going to be able to use it effectively in the end. So hoping for the Shatterstorm to hit. But the Rally, I don't even think he compelled right there. That was just simply a sidestep of the Stalagmites. And he's able to live as a result. Bottom lane, Magnus goes on a Wretched Hack. So clearly an adjustment being made here by Complexity. Or wow, I see Haxerin, I'm still thinking Complexity. By SGEU, as Haxerin playing the hack has come to the bottom lane. I guess so.
Well, actually, it's not even that long ago now. Think about it. Hexerin's adjustment did take place after the Hunter Grand Finals. Meanwhile, Parasite's is picking up some farm here, using that Hell Cannon top. Try to pick up some levels. He's level 7 now, so still staying ahead of the curve. That solo experience onto the artillery kill definitely helping a lot in his growth. Moving to the mid, not really able to set anything up yet. And
oh, jeez. Bottom lane, Magnus just gets collapsed on. Pebbles comes in and Limp says sayonara. Obviously, Haxerin assisting with the damage, but Limp just got the flank. There's no vision in that jungle to see him coming, so that worked out very well for SGEU right there. As we are now approaching the 10-minute mark, Rowley gets gone up with a face hug, but he's able to react in time, and actually they could get a counter kill out of this. Capel doesn't hit Glacius. He got chain reactions though. In comes Los on the head smash. Rowley's dropping quickly. The haste though, gotta keep him alive. Artillery barrage, the other arm comes out, and now Losen and Parasite. They're the ones that need to be on the run. Chain reactions that hits both right there. Aluna running on the uphill to give them vision if anything. The bunker down gonna be used, but here comes a bad blast from Wretched Egg. Lowstone will fall. There's that Soda Scream. Wretched Egg doing some cleanup duty right here. Off to the side. Peely, oh, what a chuck right there from Limp. Double tap come out from a Haxerin and Limp. SGEU, big plays all around.
Yeah,
Magnus could not be there in time.
Yeah, no Magnus, and pretty much the entirety of SGEU there. Pebbles even succeeding with that chuck in the end, man. Wow, Magnus actually stunned right on in there. Pebbles didn't combo me, and just sort of chucked him. I'm not sure if his stun was off cooldown or just figured he couldn't get the kill either way. Does have Steam Boots vestments there on Magnus, but yeah, big play, and all of a sudden what was a very, very tight game, man, now pretty decisively in Stay Green's favor.
Tides have no doubt turned here for SGEU in their favor big time. 2,500 gold lead, 4,000 experience lead. So again, just passing the 11-minute mark now. You got Pee-wee able to pick up the Energizer at least. So again, solid first item pickup for him there on top of the Ghost Marchers, and definitely still coming along fairly nicely. Only at 282 gold per minute now though, as the 2 deaths have been slowing him down a little bit, and he's been trying to get a little more involved, of course, so hurting his farm somewhat. May actually still try to set up a gank though at the top lane with the assistance of Torture, perhaps. No, Torture actually going to head back towards mid, so at least not yet.
Magnus looked like he kind of wanted to stun out and over the edge there. Didn't quite make it, but he's going to be okay in the end. Zippy just sort of striding on out of there. Take a look at Haxerin though, man. He's having a much better time than I think he initially figured. Going against the artillery, man, the Bloodlust kill, roaming, picking off the... Who did he roam and pick off to start things off?
It was Aluna, I believe.
Was it the Aluna, and then getting that conversion kill? He got the conversion kill onto the Torturer as well then or something. He was killing everybody though. He roamed, set up, just pretty much everything early game. And now being a part of that team fight where his team massively collected. So yeah, in spite of the troubles, in spite of his overall low CS at 35, sitting at 340 gold per minute.
Let's actually take a look back at that ancient fight there. Obviously a big fight in this game really early on, and it really did set up the momentum here. So as you see, again, this was when VDT was looking pretty good, the initiation. The Capel didn't hit Glacius, though, and actually that proved to be a big deal right there, because the Ice Imprisonment came out as a result of that.
He's forced to back up here at this point. They're taking a lot of damage from that long-range attrition and artillery. Glacius sort of boxing out, being pretty far. See, they start splitting targets. They split the damage. Yeah. Some of them are going for Lodestone. It doesn't matter because Lodestone dies in the end. But
look at that, though. Hack comes in and cleans up. Pebbles in, and he assists with the chuck on a Tor. That was just beautiful.
Right, yeah, the Pebbles in the end. That honestly was what did it in the end. The Pebbles assistance, Magnus not being there in the end, 5 versus 4.
Oh, look at where we're coming back to, though. Magnus going to try to get away. No, he is going to be fine. Obviously, he doesn't stop the TP.
Well, Bat Blast used. Base Hug used. Base Hug not the longest cooldown. Still 60 seconds of no-go. Pebbles picking up his portal key now, though. So, yeah, limp. Solid 13-minute portal key playing that mid-roll there. And, well, this is where things get sticky.
Yeah, could start to get out of hand for VDT if they're not careful. Definitely with the Pebbles here. In terms of being played by Limp, as you mentioned.
Level 4 Infest, taking over that Hell Cannon and showing just how much damage is capable of being put out. It's pretty tough to deny against him, but actually just being put at the perfect health there, and Magnus is able to snag it.
Doubles jumps in, though. Red Check trying to follow. Not the best use of the chuck back to his teammates, actually. Magnus now coming in. Beautiful line stun. Down goes Glacius. Down goes Pebbles. A seismic slam was used. And now Parasite's in some trouble. Can he get into a creeping Diamond Infest? Not even close to being off cooldown. He just says, well, I'm dead. Here you go. He gets killed as well. And a 3 for nothing.
Can we get a rally his balance up in here? I mean, come on.
Can we get a rally what?
Can we get a rally is balanced up in here? Right. I mean, come on, man. That is absolute. That's got to be frustrating. He thought he had the jump there onto the Magnus. It's like, nope, too bad. It's me, rally. Pushes him back. Instant response from his team. Just everyone was there waiting, man. And beautiful stunts, beautiful combination coming out. And all of a sudden, game is equalized again. Look at this back and forth, Breaky.
Wretched Hag might be falling into a trap right here, by the way. Rally is still set up. There's no TPs or anything. Magnus off to the side. Oh, Wretched Hag. Hacks are in. You got to be careful here. He's kind of hanging back. He's like, something doesn't feel right here. Spider senses are most certainly tingling. They do have a warded side up here. And he is going to see Magnus and Luna fall back at least. So that is going to give him information. And Haxerin will be fine in the end. So VDT obviously didn't want to wait around too long
not wasting too much time in the end, figuring that he knew something was up. Magnus ultimate more than likely going to be not going to actually use it. Thought he potentially use it to pick off these ancients, but Pebbles in the area. That's why.
Big pick, and they're also going to steal all these ancients here.
Glacius ultimate very quickly being used. So
SGEU, that was a huge swing right there for them. Again, the golden experience still very minor to an extent, but that's one of those where it's also got to be frustrating for Rally. You know, so close to finishing off some Ancients, but you just end up dying, and then they steal the Ancients right in front of you. So
and force them to go heal the survivors. So Fitsky, man, with that perceptive play, placing the ward, controlling the bottom side of the map in general. You know, helping his teammate Haxorn avoid the gank in the first place. And then, Pebbles, though, being caught out in the middle lane.
Yep.
As we talk about that, yeah, but Fitsky, man, helping Haxorn avoid that gank in the first place. That ward also seeing a beautiful combination onto the Hellborn team, the Rally and the Magnus over at the Ancients, and being able to steal them as well. So, yeah, doing work. And, well, for the longest time, and I think still, when people talk about top support hero, top support player, I mean, Fitsky is a name that's frequently referenced.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, all throughout Han's history, I mean, Fitsky is definitely
well, since Lions
support. Yeah, well,
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say though? Oh, yeah, Wretched Hack with that Lightbrand purchase, so gonna be. I guess it's not 100% necessary that he's gonna be going Grimoire power right into that. It would probably.
I would hope it is. I mean,
it is a farming tool just by itself with the Lightbrand, but yeah, the Grimoire is just such a good upgrade. So.
Yeah, for a hero like Wretched Hack, for sure. A ton of mobility. Relies on those auto attacks as well as their spells and damage.
I mean, you could argue getting the Shrunken Head before finishing it, though, might be a good investment here, so. But we'll see where Haxorn decides to go ultimately. He is the top farmer in the game. Gold per minute chart right there, 360 gold per minute.
I would be pretty shocked if he didn't pick it up, but maybe he'll get
yeah.
maybe he'll get Mighty Blade for health.
That too, yeah.
I would be surprised, that's all.
Okay. Artillery to the top lane. His farm's kind of bounced up and down a little bit, but I mean, right now in a pretty solid spot. 2,300 gold on Xibe, by the way. Remember Xibe, he's, we mentioned so much about Pee-wee playing Gemini against Day Green, a big reason for their win there, but Xibe also, we said several times in big fights, he was MVP to an extent with his big Magnus plays against Day Green. So playing Magnus again here, keep that in mind.
Man, clicking so well together.
Yeah. He got his portal key there, so see if maybe he can use that right away. If not, obviously he's not necessarily like the Pebbles by any means, but we'll see if he can maybe make it a surprise factor here. Or if he's going to show it right away, and it looks like he's just going to show it as he ports bottom to pick up that farm of the creep rate push into the secondary.
In a sense, the surprise gank factor of a portal key that they haven't detected yet is nice, but also showing it, inflicting some fear into their hearts as well, and making them change how they sort of position themselves around the map, being effective. Pebbles going to pick up this double damage rune here, and actually looks like he may want to,
yeah.
Well, not going to actually move any further. They were eventually being tiptoe towards those Ancients, but nope.
If you can find an opening here. I mean, Magnus running with the haste rune, actually. Ooh, if he can actually get a good setup from Rally, expect perhaps an eruption to be used. And possibly kills to come out of it. But both Pebbles and Glacius just not playing aggressive enough for him. And instead, he'll head towards the bottom lane where Wretched Hag is picking up some farm. And again, oh, there comes the eruption. He's going to go for it. Oh, Wretched Hag blinks away just before. That's got to be frustrating. I don't think he was honestly going to get a kill necessarily there. But, I mean, maybe with the red power throw, it could have been close. Actually, wow, yeah. He doesn't have much life, actually.
So Wretched Hag, man, there definitely would have been a kill.
Yeah. But Hag, again, Spider Sense is tingling, and Haxorn able to blink away just before. He gets caught out right there, so well played by Haxorn.
Yeah, and getting ever closer to that Blessed Orb for that fast Grimoire power pickup.
Triple stack Ancients over here. Glacial Downpour going to assist for Lodestone.
Major moment for Parasite here. Going that Strider's route, Codex is really going to help in his damage output to the Ghost Marchers to assist in that before. So yeah, going to be definitely looking for those pickoffs now.
On that top tower. Haxorn ends up picking up most of those Ancients, if not all of them. Another 2,700 gold, so he is getting close to that Grimoire now, if that's what he chooses to rush for. But again, we'll see if it's either that or maybe something like a Shrunken Head instead. Zai on Lodestone, not much farm happening, man. I mean, 20 minutes in, only about 170 gold per minute. Obviously, he had a difficult. Well, he was initially in the short lane, but then eventually switched up to the long lane. At least as the laning phase went. Grimoire was purchased by Hag right there, so got our answer out of the way. Artillery's Nullstone is going to be coming up here in the near future, too. He's got enough for the Blessed Orb currently. Parasite, how's he coming along? He got his Codex finally.
Yeah, with the instead of the I was mentioning he didn't have the Ghost Marchers for damage, so that with that Codex, he's going to be attempting to do those pickoffs, and it'll help him a lot.
Both teams not they're staying on their own side of the river for the most part. I mean, not a whole lot of roaming to try to get some kills here going on. Right as I say that, though, here we go. Pebbles jumps in on a rally. Look at that burst damage. That's a freaking rally right there. I mean, granted, he doesn't have the most tanky of items, but still, he just got bursted down. No time to react.
The LRM being applied, but yeah, literally SGEU does not care. They begin to charge him if anything else. Quick mid-tower push, and yeah, they're forced to retreat here, so.
Very quick kill, and then tower kill, and then get on out of there, so. Well played by SGEU. Limp actually cancels the TP right there. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but it might have been on purpose.
Yeah, Finsky actually walked into the woods there to get a ward of sight down, but he already had a rev ward pre-placed via Sensation did, so quickly spotting that one out. What was a crafty ward attempt thwarted.
So
Zergo figuring like, yeah, and he was saving up some gold for a little bit. Now he's like, nope, I need to build the tank, man.
Yeah.
Need to be able to tank. That is not okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he just got decimated there in the middle lane, so definitely giving him some information to get some beefier items. As you see, Zai denying the bottom tower in the meantime, so he's slowly but surely going up there in the gold chart. Haxrin, though, continuing to be on top, 443 gold per minute and counting. But same thing for Pewee. He's also continuing to go up and up himself, and he is going to have that null stone here shortly, especially when he finishes the null stone. That's, you know, it is a great farm.
Really begins to take off, right?
Yep.
There it is. Helm of the Black Legion only 30 gold away for Rally 2. Accidentally using his demoralizing order there for a second, looked like.
Ooh, lodestone.
Not.
He's going to get back in time. Yes. They do have a ward of sight over here. Not really giving them vision, though. But Zai's going into the jungle. And he will get away before anything dangerous happens there. So, communication coming out, I'm sure. Helm of the Black Legion going to be finished here on Rally. So,
Parasite was scouted entering the Hellborn Wood. So, I mean, Pee-wee's up here farming with the Nullstone, but the entire Legion team is converging. He's got to be careful. He saw the Parasite walking by the ward, feeling probably pretty confident with that pickup, but nope, they're all there.
Yeah, here comes that burst once again. Look at that burst. He gets the barrage off, but again, it just doesn't matter. Way too much. The Bat Blast, the combo from Pebbles.
Yeah, it's not only the Bat, it's the Grimoire power infused Bat Blast.
Oh, yeah.
Look, man, how long ago was it when you saw Haxer and picking up that Grimoire? Yeah,
3-4
just
minutes
a couple
at
minutes,
least.
and honestly, look at his gold now. Already has 1,900 gold on top of that Mighty Blade. Shrunken Head Grimoire power just a step away right now. That's the power of Grimoire, man. Especially when you get on hack, his farm just explodes. So staying pretty consistent here, reaching towards that 550, 580 mark you were talking about, Haxer. And
yeah,
he's just, they're going for the top tower. Looks like Hellborn team's going to have to sacrifice it with artillery still down. And with this death, that does give him the Shrunken Head. Pebble's going for a Shrunken Head as well. Parasite's going to get 2,000 extra gold now. He hasn't leveled up the Codex yet. We've seen a lot of the Ghost Marchers, Parasites leveling up Codex all the way to 3 or even 5. Curious to see whether he goes for like a portal key or maybe a disabling item instead.
VDT really wants to get a collapse right here. They're trying to set up as a team. You got a Luna and Magnus off to the side, but not going to happen. However, SGEU, they may be going back in, kind of a fake fallback right here. Rally's in the background. Both teams kind of setting themselves up pretty crafty.
Is not available right now, though, so I feel like they could fight right now, sure, but they can also fight a little bit later when Bat Blast is up and they have Shrunken Heads and they have bonus items, and sure enough, we see that there. Nuts, did he pick up a... He did choose to level up the Codex in the end, so...
Did he? Okay.
Yep.
Seems like we've been seeing a bit of that lately on Parasite specifically. To level up that Codex. A Luna!
Strider's Parasite there, too. Lacking damage in other regards.
Luna going to Lex Talionis.
Oh god, there's the portal key now for Lodestone, finally picked up as well.
Yeah. He's level 11, so that's a level 2 Shadow Storm. There's the upgrade of the Lex Talionis, actually. I believe it's level 2 now? Yeah, level 2 Lex Talionis, so helping some amplified damage a little bit for his team.
Support, gotta remember the The magic armor part of it doesn't stack, so as he maxes it out, he can make a case for shedding his vestments. So the vestments still do give you 5. Right now, even maxed out, it'll only be -3, so unless he needs the extra gold, doesn't necessarily need to sell those vestments.
Yeah. Middle lane. Hellborn team going to somewhat push right here, but obviously, currently SGEU kind of resetting things themselves, and they're going to start pushing out now too. So Kongor is going to start becoming more and more of an attractive part of this game, I'm sure, as we are approaching 26 minutes in now. 13-9 hero kill for our Legion team. Also the golden experience in their favor. The Shrunken Head finished on Hag, of course. Yeah, things adding up fairly nicely here, as you were talking about. I mean,
right.
For SGEU, they definitely have some very solid team fight going into this. And level 16 Hag too, yeah.
God, look at that load summit. That Portal King man already showing a little bit of aggression here. Portal King up across into the Ancients and trying to find a nice hiding spot, but going to get scouted out by Luna here. So they have the numbers. They have to be careful with the jump.
Luna, that's going to be a dead Luna. However, Hellborn team, will they jump themselves? Yes, they jump over here. Glacial Dapper going to be stopped. Eruption Beach Tunnel not going to go off. The Magnus gets silenced by the Face Hug. The Bat Blast going to be used and he will fall. They get the Cone of Glacius, but at what cost right here? Rally's now trying to run away, as well as Torture. Is just them fighting against the team of SGEU. Torture goes down, and Rally just has to walk away with that haster, and Haxron picks up the double tap. Man,
Stay
just
green EU, man. Just finding those pickoffs. I mean, support in the wrong place at the wrong time. Ran into Big Bad Zai there in the right outside the Ancients, I should say, and that pickoff led way. They attempted to, I think, they stunned the Glacius and they tried to ulti right on top of it. Parasite coming on in, laying down that face hug, silencing that and thwarting that attempt. It just all there on time, and they weren't able to do anything, man. Just had to sit there and watch as their team got decimated. Artillery taking another death as well, so.
Yeah.
Pee-wee, man, while he had a solid tournament in this game, only 2-4-0. Haxron, however, just absolutely taken to the skies right now. After that fight, an extra 3,000 gold on top of everything. No sign of them slowing down. Artillery's okay, man. Artillery's a strong hero and definitely capable of carrying games. When you have this much momentum, especially on a very mobile hero that's capable of carrying a game in her own right too, like Wretched Hag, gonna be pretty damn tough to recover.
Yeah, and actually, let's take a look back at that fight once again. And you know, the thing that I saw, at least when we saw it live, especially, was how they got really desperate. You saw the initiation right here on Aluna. It was clear that she was gonna die. It's almost as if that's where, you know, if you're VDT, you're like, well, we got to go now. Our partner's being jumped over there. We got to go on these guys. But like you saw right there, the eruption trying to be channeled in the midst of everyone. That usually never works, especially against good teams. And it was easily stopped by SGEU, and it just kind of fell apart from there. So SGEU, well played on their part, but yeah, I really feel VDT just got kind of, you know, a little overzealous. They thought that, or they saw their Luna getting picked off in one place. They thought, well, we got to go in now ourselves, and clearly it did not pay off. So definitely a big one fight there for our Legion team, and the Golden Experience are showing more and more of that. As we progress here, they're going to push the middle secondary tower now. They're still the top secondary, so not all outer towers have been killed yet. But
Stay Green EU, man, continuing their statement, continuing their strong and confident statement of we're going through, we're not going to lose a single game. They're feeling like this is their tournament. They are the defending champions, after all, of Dreamhack.
Yeah.
Sure.
Something
they got taken out in GSL.
Enough,
they got taken out in the Hontor Grand Finals, but right here, the defending champs.
Well, that was without Haxron, too. And again,
it was without Haxron, sure, but they did still make it happen. Yeah, okay.
Noob G, great player, obviously. Nothing against him, but it does feel like, I mean, Haxron, he fit in very nicely with the team, including with the reason for Noob G leaving in the first place.
Back in the previous Dreamhack, too.
That's true, yeah.
So, Bitsky, well, he did replace him a lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long after Dreamhack, just a few months, so
yeah, for
a lot of time has passed at least, but yeah, after cycle 4, or was it cycle 5? I think
it was cycle 3, actually. Oh, look at that!
Wow. Yeah, they realize the situation they're in. Artillery's capable of pinning heroes down, but Wretched Hag doesn't really care, man. I mean, she's blinking around the fight. Can't lock her down. They're just like, we really just don't have